Hey there guys, welcome to the all ages class for Warriors, Fusion, and Impact students. This is the first class that I believe is being uploaded for the new cycle. We have now entered the leadership cycle, which is about the beginning of February. We just tested this past weekend as of recording this. This is a good starting off point. We're going to take things slow today. We're not going to really feel like we have a good grasp of the stripes yet because again, it's the first class. But just so you guys understand, there will be certain things being fed in, and over time we're going to feel more and more comfortable with all of our stripes. Something to note with this upcoming cycle, there is a competition in the cycle. I believe it's happening in March. I don't have the date off the top of my head. That's going to be before testing. So we might put a little bit more focus on competitive style things, sparring for example, and how to show off certain things in your form. Before we head into testing. But I've always thought that if you can go to a competition and you can compete, you probably could test the next weekend. It's really hard to not be able to test right after competition. We really should have competitions every cycle because it really helps you guys. But with that said, let's go ahead and get started. Put your feet together, hands by your side, kene bow. Academy tenets with me. I will demonstrate leadership, strength, commitment, knowledge, respect. And bow. Very good. All right, from here, feet slightly out, chew me. Let's go ahead and get just 5 jumping jacks to start off with. Ready, set, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. From here, we're going to do some neck rotations. My neck just popped so much. Other way. Okay, arms go forward. And backwards. Okay, across the body. Up and down. Okay, from here we're going to do legs out, reaching over side to side. And now behind you. And then down low, toe to toe. Knees bent, hips side to side. All right. Woo! From there, we'll go straight into our stretching on the ground. The first thing we're doing today is a little bit slower. That can consider our warm-up, but I don't want to, it's too long to put in the middle. So go ahead and have a seat. You might want to have your legs stretched out. So have a seat, both legs out in front of you, both hands reaching forward. Okay, now from here, go and take one of your legs. We're going to throw it behind you today. Then both hands reaching forward down the one straightened leg. Switch sides, please. Okay, legs out into a big wide V. Hands behind your head at your own pace. 10 side to side stretches. Go for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As you finish up, legs out. Down the middle, side to side. making sure you stretch it out so you can kick high today. All right, bottoms of your feet together for the butterfly stretch. And we'll begin the funtivities. Okay, hop up. Let's get 5 more jumping jacks, shake it all out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Excellent. I want to start off with some stances today. Stances and blocks. So we're going to kind of work on 2 different things, but they're both equally important. So we're going to take it real slow in this first half. Again, could be considered a warm up into class, so that's why we skipped it right there to head here, but it's going to take a while. So let's go ahead and hop into a sparring stance. So to do that, we're going to put our back leg. You can decide what your back leg is. I'm using my left leg. I'm putting it behind me with my toes pointing towards this wall. My right leg is in front of me, going towards you guys, toes pointed towards you guys. Now, one of the most important things you can do is you lean back on that back leg there. Don't equally lean down. The reason you don't want to do that is because when you go to kick, you have to readjust regardless to then kick. Just start that way. Start leaning back so any moment you can pop this leg up and kick, all right, and be ready to go. So, we're in a sparring stance. So far, we have our feet figured out. Then we travel up our body. We want to make sure that we don't are facing forward. That's just not even comfortable. Do go with the more comfortable one and face your stomach belt towards where your back foot toes are pointing, the side. Now, next up is our hands. I want to make sure that my hands aren't down here, that they're up and guard by my face. Let's talk about guard for a second. Guard does not mean just you're holding your elbows. Like your elbows aren't just like, you know what I mean? Guard has a purpose, and it is protecting your guys' head and face. So let's go ahead and focus on, when we're in this stance, we're up here. The reason being is if somebody comes and punches me, I don't want to have to reach up, then block. I just block. So think of it that way. Now, we're up on guard. Last thing is that even though our stomach's facing this way, I'm looking towards the target. The reason we have our body turned to the side, and a lot of you guys know this, is because when my body's turned, I'm protecting low and I'm protecting high up here. I have 2 areas. If I'm here, I have to protect both sides of my stomach, both sides of my chest, but all over my head, as well as they can go to my sides even easier. Whereas right here, yeah, they could come get in front of me, but that's like 3 things instead of, 6 or 7? So make sure that's why we're doing that sparring stance. Let's go ahead and hold that out for a second. So we're leaning on that back leg, hands are up, body turned to the side, face towards probably me at the screen. We're right here. Now what I want to do while we're up here is take this top arm and block across your face. Block across your face. That's called the outside block. A lot of you know that as well. You might just not realize that with the name. An outside block is always my leaning arm, which for you guys is closest to you, okay? That is my outside block arm. The only reason this arm would ever get a chance to do it is if I completely switch sides, which by the way, let's go ahead and do that. Switching legs now. Now, my right leg is in the back, toes pointing to the side, left leg towards you guys, hands are up. We're blocking. So we have this arm in front of us. Let's block across your face. Quick check, and because I'm not doing it, are you leaning your back leg? I got a little comfortable starting standing up. Your legs can't be straight during this. There's got to be a bend, you got to have a lean. A bend and a lean on that back leg. All right, hands are up and guard, blocking across our face. And you can also go back. But always use this arm. Don't try to get that back boy in it. He's not good at his job. Okay, that was one of our stances and one of the blocks we're working on. Let's move on to the next one. Next one is a sitting stance. Arguably the easiest one to do. Now, sitting stance. Feet start out, and just like the name, we're going to sit back on something. So I'm sitting back on top of something, keeping my back straight. A lot of us are really bad about, if they do sit down very well, they sort of look like that, okay? And you could argue that some squats make sense to do it that way, but we're not, it's not the point right now is not squats. The point is a sitting stance. So keeping your back straight, sit back, keep that balance. Other thing, try to have all 10 toes pointing forward. If you guys can see my toes, they're kind of at an angle. I need to try to turn those in as much as I can as I go back down here, okay? you don't have to be 100% there, but also strive for greatness, all right? I know you can do it. So I'm in my stance, I'm right here. Then what we practice normally here is called the high block, all right? So let's get our hands up. And what I like to do is I like to move one to my belt, my other hand crosses up. I didn't go up, I crossed up. And the idea with that is, when I go to the next one, it's not just like I'm like Donkey Kong, I am switching up in front of it. That way there's always kind of a guard happening. Always kind of, uh-oh, you see what I'm doing? I was raising myself up. Here we go. High block, join me. High block. Let's get two more. Perfect. Now go and relax. That one's a fairly quick one. Now this is arguably the hardest stance. You already know it's coming. It's the front stance. Everyone feels like they got it, and then when you look at it, it's a separate thing. Challenge for the day. Have somebody film you showing off a front stance and look at it. Really look at it. I have the benefit right now because I have huge mirrors behind you guys and I can see my stance as well as I can kind of see like the phone a little bit. You guys might not have that, okay? So make sure when you get a chance, look at what your stance looks like. I always say that you want to be animated. In a cartoon, they're wacky and wild and they're all over the place, but we want our stances to be like that too. This feels, let me do a side one. This feels like an amazing front stance. But you guys know, you've probably seen me do better than that, and you definitely see other instructors do like that. This feels like a great front stance, when in reality, that's a much better one. Much better one. Let me get you guys in the front as well so you can see it. A much better one. Because I feel animated right now. I feel like I'm overdoing it. I feel like I'm being goofy. It feels like the guys that feel like they have to go, like all the time. All right? But when it comes to your stances, it only helps you. It only helps you. All right? That's why, Bruce Lee is like the coolest guy in the world. Because he overdid it. No, respect to the king. So let's go and work on these front stance. Feet together. Again, I'm taking it slow. I know you guys know how to hop into it. Take one of your legs, throw it back. One of your legs, throw it forward. Bend that front knee and make sure that your heels are on the ground. That's an important one. And your 10 toes are pointed towards where you're facing. So there's no more wackiness of one foot's off the side. Now, all your foot is completely on the ground and your toes are pointing towards you guys. Hope you guys can see that. So, hands are still in guard, and the hardest one is that you got to keep that knee bent. It's easy to relax and be in this weird sort of like pyramid triangle kind of pose. Keep that leg bent, all right? Keep yourself low to the ground. Now, don't be afraid to move this foot up sometimes. As you get comfortable with this, your legs will be able to bend more and more and more. You might be able to only be like your feet. Right about my bad version. That's not awful. It's still the stance. But remember, we can go for greater. And as I bend this one forward, I instinctively want to move my back leg farther back. Let's go ahead and hop into a front stance, and let's get a total of 10 low blocks on each side. I want to really make sure these look good. So I'm on one side, comfortable with where my knee is. My hands are up. I'm going to hug. And as I low block down, my other hand goes to my belt, and I'm making sure each time my 10 toes are pointing forward, my heels are on the ground, my knee is bent, my back leg is straight. There are so many things to work on. Here we go, hands up. I did 1, let's get 9 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, pause. I'm doing something. With my hands, I'm twisting them. What's happening is I'm starting facing in, so by the time I get out, I can roll it out. Instead of just, there's a bit of a, you see that? Slow-mo. I'm going to get like an editing team for this. That'd be so cool. All right, here we go. Let's keep going. Where are we stopping? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, 10. Switching legs. My other leg is in front. My knee is bent. My back leg is straight. Hug, low block. Hug, low block. That's 2. 3. My back arm's doing it too. That was how I did it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Very good, very good, very good. And those are the 3 major stances. Are there more stances? Yes. Are there more blocks? Absolutely. But those are the major ones that you're going to find in the forms and in your everyday training here. So let's make sure we keep working on those. Awesome. So next one we'll work on is some sparring skills. I'm going to use a bag like I always do. You don't need to, just aim it at the camera. Let me move forward. It could be argued that this class is geared towards white and yellow belt because it's basic stuff. But remember, you're never too high of a rank to go back and work on the basics, because the more you work on those basic things, they can only make your other things stronger. You're only as good as your foundations. You can't have a good jump spin sidekick if your sidekick's not it, all right? You can't have a great run jump switch front kick if your front kicks aren't great. You can do a run jump something with your kick, but you're just not going to be a good front kick. So let's make sure today as we're working the sparring skills, which again, these are a little more advanced, which is basic stuff, that we feel good about these, and then we add them into our advanced moves, we'll call them. Or if you're a white and yellow belt, this is exactly what you need. All right, here we go. So we're starting with some sidekicks today. To do a proper sidekick, I'm going to have my belly facing towards you guys, my belt facing towards you guys, but I'm kicking off to the side, conveniently where my bag is. If I was facing towards the camera, which you guys might be doing, you're going to look like that. What stance was that called? Sparring stance, back stance, got many names. It's a third one too. Here we go. Fighter stance, that's what it is. Fighter stance, sparring stance, back stance. Here we go. So I got my body turned to the side. What I'm going to do, and this is one of the most important things, the side kick can easily turn into a round kick at any moment as long as you do your knee in the wrong place. That's where it's easy to do it. But if you do your knee in the right place, then it's, you do the kick right, it's not hard to mess it up. Here we go. I have my leg in front of me. I should be leaning back. And when I do that, I'm going to pull my knee to this hand. I don't know if you guys can see this hand easy. When I pull my knee here, it sets me up for an awesome side kick. If I just pick my leg up and kick, I have a side kick, but it's kind of a... Did you hear that? It's kind of a... It's not good, all right? It's the kicking version of mumbling, all right? It's meh. Here we go. So we're going to get 3 side kicks today on both legs. And what I want you guys to do is to make sure that your knee chambers properly and then kicks in the bag and then comes back. It retracts properly. So don't just do a great job here and drop. Do a great job here, great job here, great job here, and finish strong. All of it. All right, let's get 3 on each side. Go for it. I've done 2. I'll finish up on the side. Okay. Now I'm switching sides. Pulling my knee in, kicking out. Pulling my knee in, kicking out. That was 3. Okay. You should be finishing up right about now-ish. So let's double it up. Let's do these into double side kicks. Again, what I was talking about earlier, you can't do a double side kick if you can't do one side kick. If I cannot figure out how to retract my leg, this will never make sense. Here's the reason why. When I pull this knee in, kicking, I pull it in so that sometimes I can go back out for another one. So to be able to do that double side kick, you have to know how to retract it properly. Let's get 2 double side kicks. Set your leg down after the double side kick. Don't do a quadruple side kick. That doesn't make sense. I go 1, 2, set it down. 1, 2, set it down. Let's switch sides. 1, 2, set it down. 1, 2, set it down. Was that 4? I'm not counting. I am literally counting, but I'm only focused on speaking. Awesome. Now let's finish it up with an even cooler kick. One of the best kicks we got. A spin side kick. So let's start over here in our sparring stance. Now, we're changing the game up a little bit. This was our back leg that we were leaning on. Now we kind of have to lean off a little bit as we move this leg back. Spin, look at the bag. You do not kick if you don't see your bag or target. Your target is probably me. Please don't kick me. I'm sure what you're kicking on me is very expensive. Do not kick the TV. Okay, so I'm looking for my target. I see it out of the corner of my eye. Oh, this one. And when I see it, I'm going to launch out side kick. All right? Now, here's where another problem lies. I know we're really focusing on the technique today. As we get comfortable with these side kicks, as we focus on chambering and spinning and all that nonsense, we might lose the most basic part of the side kick, and that is kicking with your heel. Everybody go ahead and lift your toes up in the air and walk on your heels. You're going to feel goofy, and that's because you look goofy. It's just how it is, okay? Now, The reason I had you guys do that is I want you to remember, the part that was on the ground, you just did a side kick on the ground. I did a side kick to the ground. Side kick to the ground. As I'm walking into this, I'm just doing weird side kicks. So as I do my spin side kick, my entire foot's not touching the bag, only my heel. That was my entire foot. Look at me, I'm all talk, no game. There we go. All right, so as we do these spin side kicks, make sure it's heel. And again, I just told you guys what to do and I even messed up there. So don't feel bad if it's getting weird at first. All right, let's get 2 spin side kicks on each side. If you haven't been working on them already, I'm sure you've been doing it as I'm talking, which I'm glad to hear. Let's get 2 all together. It's 1, 2, 1. Okay, last thing to go backwards real quick. I made a big deal about keeping my hands up. Your hands are up to protect your head, of course. But right now, we're not sparring. Right now, there's not a person bothering me. Why am I bothering to keep my hands up? 1, you just should. 2, the reason you want to hear, it helps with balance. All right? If I have my hands down, can I do it? Sure. But 1, looks sloppy. 2, felt sloppy. Hands are up. I felt a lot cleaner about it. I felt like I was in control of my kick. Now I just threw a kick and hope it landed. All right, I want to put it all together. Side kick, spin, side kick. Let's try it out. Side kick, pull back, side kick. Spin, side kick. Try the other side. Side kick, spin, side kick. Ooh, didn't do a very good job there. Go ahead and keep getting those. Side, spin, side. Side, spin, side. If you have something to hit, awesome. If you don't, aim at me. Keep going, keep going. Okay. Go ahead and wrap it up a little bit. I want to work on one more. This one's a lot quicker. Hands up. Now my body's turned to the side. You guys probably look like this. I'm looking like this to show it off better. Here we go. My front arm, low block. I did not properly hug because in a fight or a sparring match, I don't want you to properly hug. These are bad guys. They don't have to know you're good. Just do the block, okay? So right here, swing it down low block. Bring that arm back up. Chop, chop. The idea is they came in flying at you with a kick. You're going to quickly block their leg, and as you kind of jam forward, your elbow's bringing it up. Chop, chop. So block, chop, chop. We have a finishing move. Any idea what it is? Some of you have done this before, that's why I'm asking you. It is a side kick, okay? I'm bringing that leg in, side kick. So they're kicking at us. I block that leg, bring my arm back up, chop, chop. Now I'm in an error. I should try my best to remain in a sparring stance the entire time because now I have to lean and back and kick. So if I stay in that, block, chop, chop, kick, much easier, much easier than the first time I did it when I had to lean back. So let's open our sparring stances. Let's go low block, chop, chop, side kick, low block, chop, chop, side kick on both sides. Go for it. Low block, chop, chop, side kick, 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 low block, chop, chop, side kick. All right, excellent job, everyone. We have one more thing to do today. I want to give you guys a sneak peek, a preview, an exclusive look at the new form. Now, I am going to do this, I think backwards, but facing you. So it should be forwards for you. So from where I'm standing, I'm supposed to go this way, but I want you guys to go that way. So I'm going to go this way, and you're going to follow me. So you're trying to mime me. You're standing in front of me, and I believe you're trying to mime me. Again, the professional videos are going to get sent up. Those are much better to watch, but here we go. If I'm facing the mirrors, here we go. We're going to hug, low block. We're going to hug, chop. Now, tricky part here. Most of you are getting a side kick. Lift your knee up, side kick, land back arm punch. If you're a black belt watching, you have a twist kick. If you don't know what a twist kick is, we're going to spend the class probably focusing on that. We're definitely going to be doing it in person here, and I'll make sure an online video will focus on it too. But to give you a quick version, you go hug low block, hug chop. You're going to bring your knee up, twist kick, punch. Everyone, let's continue. Hug, low block, hug, chop, twist kick, punch. Okay, so what just happened there is we went equally on one side. So again, if you are somehow starting the wrong side because I made it unclear, which is very possible, that's okay because if you know what happens on one side, happens on the other side. Here we go, 준비. We're gonna hug, low block, hug, chop, side kick or twist kick, punch. Everyone, hug to the other side, low block, hug to the other side, chop, side kick or twist kick, land, punch. Now the last part's my favorite part. Coming towards me, you're gonna put your hand behind your ear, and you're gonna turn towards the front, chop. You're gonna step with the back leg, even leg behind you, unless you weren't in a stance and you just were here. Then it doesn't make sense. One of your legs is behind you, chop. Now we're gonna step, reach behind my ear, chop, reach and grab, knee strike. And that finishes section 1 of the new form. Let's do it one last time. 준비. Hug, low block, hug, chop. Side kick or twist kick, punch. Feet together, hug, low block, hug, chop, hugging on top for both of those. Side kick or twist kick, punch. Hand behind my ear, turn towards the front, chop. Step, hand behind my ear, land, chop. Reach and grab. My back leg is going to do a knee strike as I land facing this way. And that's your sneak peek at section 1 of the new form. This form's a lot of fun. I love it. The section 2 is super cool. It's just like a jump, switch nonsense. It's so cool. All right, guys, great work today. Today was a slower class. If you want to challenge yourself with a conditioning drill, it might be snowing outside. Go like shovel your driveway or something. I don't know. No, you guys are off the hook for today. This week was all about slowing getting back into class. So, feet together, hands by your side. Can bow. Great job, everyone, and have a good one.